Some of y'all don't have opinions. You have group assignments. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Because one of the things that makes me uncomfortable is watching people lose the ability to think independently outside of being in a group. And honestly, I think it happens more than we realize. And I've been thinking about this for a while now, whether it's friend groups, workplace, church, families, social media. I keep noticing the same pattern where one person forms an opinion and everybody else adopts it. And before long, nobody remembers how they got there. Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Nancy Glow. On this channel, I share reflections on self-awareness, womanhood, intentional living, personal growth, and everyday life. Sometimes that looks like fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content, and other times it looks like conversations like this, where we take everyday situations and use them as a lens to better understand ourselves and the world around us. Because I'm less interested in what happened and more interested in what happened reveals about us. So if you like conversations about these, be sure to like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe. One thing I want to clarify is there's nothing wrong with influence. There's nothing wrong with learning from people. There's nothing wrong with mentors. There's nothing wrong with community. We all learn from other people. The problem is when somebody else starts doing all your thinking for you. That's different. So the question would be, at what point does influence become dependency? One of my favorite questions is, who told you that? And I'm not asking to be difficult. I'm asking because a lot of people never stop to evaluate where their beliefs come from. Did you actually arrive at that conclusion, or did you inherit it? Did you investigate it, or did you absorb it? Because those are not the same things. For example, I've been going on TikTok lives for almost a year now. In the lives that I've been to, I've noticed that there's sort of a community built amongst those lives. And it's to the point where most times you can kind of tell when you hear someone where they came from. Based on their ideologies, based on their beliefs, you can kind of tell where they inherited that belief from. And it's nothing wrong with having that belief, like I said. The issue comes when you start to ask them questions and you start to kind of poke and challenge, and they're not able to fully defend what they believe or what they know. But most times I do tend to stay quiet because I know I don't know a lot, but I am open and willing to learn. But even in my willingness to learn, I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to understand, and I'm going to also confirm the validity of what I'm hearing to ensure that it is indeed valid before I just say, okay, I take on this information. Because even in school, when you take exams, you can some people are very good test takers. Some people know how to study and ace an exam. But when you ask them to apply it to their day-to-day, they're not able to because they don't technically understand what it is that they were studying. The same rules apply in life. When you hear information, don't just take it at face value. Put it against something, evaluate it, research it, really understand what you are listening to, what you are hearing, so that in anywhere you can go, you can confidently defend it. You can confidently be challenged by it. And that is what a lot of people are missing. People are not able to challenge them effectively because they too don't even understand what it is that they're hearing and listening to. They're just soaking in whatever they like to hear. And after they're done hearing it, they go out into the world and they regurgitate it word for word. And then when someone comes and pokes holes at it, you see it deflating little by little, because you don't know what the heck you're listening to. You don't understand what it is that you're listening to. It just applies to whatever you're experiencing in that moment. And that speaks to your level of healing. But that's a conversation for another day. Because let's be honest, thinking for yourself is hard. It's much easier when somebody tells you, this is who the good guy is. This is who the bad guy is. This is who we're supporting. This is who we're against. Now all the work has been done for you. No questioning, no discernment, no critical thinking, just agreement. And people love agreement because agreement feels safe. This is one of the reasons group dynamics have always made me uncomfortable, because every group eventually develops influence. And sometimes that influence is healthy, but sometimes one person's opinion becomes everybody's opinion. One person's issues becomes everybody's issues. One person's enemy becomes everybody's enemy. And nobody stops to ask, wait, what do I think? Child, let me drink my tea real quick. Whew. Social media rewards quick opinions, not thoughtful opinions. Quick, immediate, instant reactions. Everybody wants to be first. Very few people want to be accurate. Very few people want to gather information. Very few people want to sit back and say, I don't know enough yet. But sometimes that's the wisest answer. And I think this is the part that people underestimate. When you stop thinking for yourself, you slowly lose trust in your own judgment because you've trained yourself to look outside yourself for every answer, every opinion, every conclusion, every direction. You don't know what you think anymore. You only know what your environment thinks. So here's the question. Have you ever inherited an opinion and called it your own? Have you ever disliked someone because someone else did? Have you ever supported something simply because everyone else supported it? Have you ever repeated something without actually checking if it's true? Because if we're honest, most of us have. I think one of the most valuable skills a person can develop is independent thought. Not because you'll always be right, but because you will always know how you arrived at your conclusion. And that's important because influence is inevitable, but surrendering your ability to think, that's a choice. And I think it's one that we should all be careful about making. If you enjoyed this conversation, let me know your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe while you're at it. Until next time. Okay, bye.